This is Dana. Welcome to my channel. It's Sunday. So I missed our Christmas tag Friday. It has been quite the week. The week I've had, time got away from me. I've been in a lot of pain. I haven't felt well physically. My allergies are going crazy, and I know if you're in Arizona, everybody's struggling with allergies right now. I've got an eye that looks like I have pink eye, but I don't because it's allergies. So excuse the fact that I'm late with this video, but look at these cute little tags we're gonna make today. I wanted to work on, when I started this series this year, my goal was to not cut into any papers and to use up only the Christmas scraps. Okay, so these are all my Christmas scraps, and I have a ton of them, and I have organized them. I spent last night organizing them, so I'm going to show you how I did that, so that as I move further into doing Christmas projects, that I can pull from my scraps and be using those. I don't know if I'm the only one out there that has that many Christmas scraps. I know all of us have scraps, but I have so many Christmas scraps. It's unbelievable. So here's what we're going to work on. Here's the front of our little tag. And all I did was cut a triangle. And these are just strips of scrap paper, Christmas paper, on a little doily. And then the back is just, this is even scrap paper here, stamped to and from, put a button at the top, and used embroidery thread to string that through the button for the little tie. I just think these are super cute and a great way to use scraps. So I have done them two different ways. I left two to do on camera. I've used actually two different kinds of doilies just because I had them. And some I laid them diagonal, and in some I laid them straight across. I think either way is cute. So we're going to do both ways on camera today. So what I've done, I'm going to put these aside. What I've done is just taken several different of my Christmas papers, and I cut them into 1/2-inch strips. Okay. The next thing I'm doing, that I'm using, is 4-inch doilies. You can get these for very cheap. I think these came from either Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I think Michael's. They're like $3, and you use a 40% off coupon, and you can get them for less than $2, and there's 35 of them in there. So that's a really good deal. So you're gonna need 4-inch doilies. The next thing you're going to need is a base that we're going to glue onto. Now, I chose to use double-sided papers for my base because you are going to kind of see the back of the tree just a little bit. And I thought, well, you know, the doilies are white. It'd be nice to have a little color going on. So I chose to do double-sided papers for my bases. These papers are 3.5 tall by 3 inches wide. Now, what you're going to do, let me grab my pencil and my paper cutter. These are 3 inches wide, okay? So what we're going to do, let me turn this around, is we're going to make a mark. We're going to set this, am I in frame here? I am up top, so let me do it up here. We're going to set this in our cutter at an inch and a half, which is the midway point, and we're going to make a mark. We're going to do that on both. So an inch and a half, because we're 3 inches wide, and make a mark. Now, you're going to place that midway mark into your cut line, and then the corner, the lower corner, into the cut line. We're going to sink our blade and cut back and forth. Okay, then we're going to do it with the other side. Our midway cut mark, a midway mark that we made at 1.5 inches, and we're going to cut down the other side to get our triangle. Okay, so that's the base of our little Christmas tree. Okay, so we're just going to do it to the other one. Okay, our 1.5 inch midway point in the cut line, as well as the corner. We're going to sink our blade and cut. The reason that we sink our blade first is because if I come at it like this and I just push into that point, I could crumple my paper. So I want a nice clean cut. So I just sink my blade in the middle and cut down and back. Okay, and that's it. We're done with our cutter. Okay, so we have these two. Now I'm going to use, I think, this side to layer my papers on both of these. And I'm going to do one of these diagonal, and I'm going to do one of them straight across. Now I am going to use wet glue for this. You can use whatever adhesive that you want. If you have ATG, wet glue, a tape runner, whatever you have will work for this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just kind of look at what I've got here. And I want to use kind of an array of colors. Okay. So I think I really like this one here to start with. So all I'm going to do is lay my glue down on my tree, not on my paper scrap, because my scraps are going to be too long. Okay, so then I want to put it over the edge so that it's hanging off the edge of both sides. That way I know I've got that part of my tree covered. Okay, and I'm going to kind of work with them both at the same time here. I think this blue one is really cute, so I'm going to use this one. And this one I'm going diagonal, so I'm just going to put my glue on kind of in a diagonal shape. Sorry, just making sure I'm in camera. I'm going to kind of lay this in diagonally across the glue that I just put on there. Okay, bring my tree back in here. Okay, and I think a red would be nice here. So I'm just going to lay my glue down, and that's it essentially. It's super easy. So you just lay and you just butt your papers up because you're using cardstock scraps. Those papers will butt right up next to each other so that you don't have any space in between those. And I did not get that one on all the way across, so I'm just going to pull it up and re-glue it. There we go. There we go. That's better. Okay, and I think over here I'm going to use this blue here. That's really pretty. All right. Just make sure that you're covering up, that you're hanging off the edge both sides. Okay, and then I really like this striped one here, so I'm going to use this one next. And you're just going to layer your paper whatever looks good to you. Really cute. Okay, I think I'll use some gold stripes on this one. And I'm just kind of going back and forth between them. And I happen to see one here that I really want to use on this one, so I'm going to pull this one and go ahead and put that one on. Really like this blue right here. That's really cute. I feel like I need some green on here. See how I've got gold and red and blue. I think it needs some green. I'm gonna put this green plaid up here. I'm gonna pick the part of the plaid that's got the most green on it. And that's the part I want showing right there. Okay, and then maybe some red down here. Use this piece here. Okay. All right, I think I want to use this plaid here. I think that's really cute. So I'm just going back and forth between them. You guys realize that next week we're like at the halfway point for our tags already. I'm gonna put some green right here. Grab this little paper here that's got this green little snow with a part of a white little snowflake on it. Okay, let's see. Maybe this little blue with the red snowflake on it would be cute. It's a great way to use up some of your scraps. Okay, and then ooh, this stripe is really cute. Let's use this. Let's see if, what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna put this one vertically, because I think if I lay it this way, it's not gonna quite cover the whole triangle. And it's a slanted, so I'm gonna cut it straight. And then I'm gonna lay it vertically, because if I lay it vertically, it's gonna cover the whole rest of the top of that tree. Okay, let's finish this one up. Let's see here, what do we wanna put here? This one's pretty. Let's do this one. Will this completely cover the rest? Yes, that's gonna completely cover the rest of the top here. Get the part with the snowflake on it. There we go. Okay, the top is covered there. Now we just have this little bitty corner here. What's on here? I already used that piece. We could use this little kind of white piece with the green snowflake now. Let's just use this dark blue with the little piece of holly on it. Let's put that little piece of holly on it. There we go. Okay, so now that we've covered both of our bases, let me get these scraps out of the way. Now that we've covered both of our bases, all I'm gonna do is turn them over, and I'm gonna take my scissors and rest my scissors up against the side of our Christmas tree base, our triangle base, and I'm simply going to cut the excess away. Just like this. And just let those scraps fall away. And this is what we have. Really cute. Really cute. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing to the other one. I'm just going to rest my scissors up against the side of the tree, a base here, and just cut the excess off. And those will just fall away as you cut them off. Because this one was done diagonally, I've got 3 sides to kind of cut off. Okay, and that's what this one looks like. So that's what we have. Really cute. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, get our little pieces out here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our doilies and we're going to glue these on. Okay, and what I'm doing is I've got my doilies placed to where the topmost, like, you see how these ruffles here are a little bit shorter than these really big, like, solid ones here? I want my tallest, like, ruffle at the very top. Okay, and basically what we're going to do is rest that the tip of our Christmas tree into that biggest ruffle right there, but not touching the edge of it. And then these will just fall off the sides of the doily a little bit. So that's how I'm planning on kind of setting mine out. Now you can set yours out however you want. This is what I found what worked for me in order to get my button that I'm going to put at the top of the tree to have the most solid place to sit. Okay, so I'm not going quite to the edge of that little ruffle right there. Okay, and I'm just going to press this down. And see how that's so cute with the little stripe paper showing through. You won't see a ton of that because we're going to put our to and from right here. And while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to go ahead and glue down my to from. This is just a 2-inch scallop punch that I have. I had some white kind of wood grain paper scraps, and so I just punched it out. And the only reason I inked around the edge is so that it stood out a little bit from the white part of the white doily. And I just stamped to and from the May Made It stamp set called Tag Builder. And then I'm just going to glue this down like right in the middle. Right, it fits perfectly right in the middle of the doily. Just like that. So you can still see that striped paper. Isn't that cute? That's why I wanted to use double-sided paper for my base. Okay, so this one's kind of put together. Let's do the other one. Again, I've got my like largest, tallest part of my doily at the top. Get glue all over my base here for my tree. Not going quite to the edge up there, but close to it. I want to have room for my button. And then we'll turn it over and we'll put our to and from. Okay. Good. Now what we're going to do is I've picked out 2 buttons. And I'm just going to glue a button onto the top of each tree. I'm just using my art glitter glue. You could use hot glue would work here. You will find it hard if you use hot glue. You're going to find it difficult to, because what I'm going to do is take my pokey tool. What I'm going to do is take my pokey tool once the glue is dry. I'm going to take my pokey tool and I'm going to poke through these 2 holes for my button. And then with a needle and then some embroidery floss, I'm just going to thread through to make the hanger. And so these are going to take a minute to dry. So I'm actually going to thread these off camera, but let me show you how I did it here with the ones that are done. Okay, so you see how I threaded my button? I poked a hole through my buttonholes. And then I just threaded my embroidery floss through and then I tied a knot. Okay, so that's how I did that. Now, one of these has a 4-hole, it's a 4-hole button. Okay, so let me find one because it was a little bit different. All I did for the 4-hole button is I just went through that top hole. I put my button on kind of diagonally, so the holes were diagonal. And I just went through the top button to do the string on those. So I'll do these off camera once we're done. And that's week 5 for Christmas tags. So I hope you guys enjoy this and give it a try. It's a great way to use your scraps. Just cut those up into 1/2-inch strips and there you go. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day and God bless.